Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestra, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast, in 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. For 4 years, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast has provided advice and tips from international best-selling authors, world-class artists, contest judges and winners, and industry professionals based on the world-famous Writers of the Future contest created in 1983 by L. Ron Hubbard to help the aspiring writer and artist no matter their age. It is dedicated to the future of storytelling and art by showing that it is never too late to start, and those who make it are those who never give up. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in any or all of the 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and go out and vote now.
Hey there. It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. The News on the Flip Side, in the category of politics and news. News on the Flip Side is a much different news and political program which is not deemed as opinion news. Listen as Joe Montaldo brings to you just the facts from trusted sources which will allow you, the people, to make up your own minds on the various stories being reported on. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate News on the Flip Side in the category of politics and news. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and do it now. All right, everybody, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. The Outer Realm in the category of Best Female Hosted Podcast. The Outer Realm is a very popular show hosted by Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano, which boasts millions of listeners each week who are well known for and have been complimented on their very laid-back, roundtable style of interviewing. Together, this dynamic duo brings you the best of the best with guests from around the world who are well-versed within their respective fields of ufology, paranormal, esoteric, and other areas of high strangeness, and more. So go to podcastawards.com to nominate The Outer Realm in the category Best Female Hosted Podcast. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and do it now.
Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. From 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. This is Adriana, your host of Negotiating Happiness. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. And check us out. The network is also on Roku TV. If you want to sit back, relax, and watch us on your TV, you can do that. Grab your coffee, grab your lunch. We're just going to be doing a little bit of housekeeping today, and hopefully you'll find it relatable, or maybe at some point you were, in my shoes, learning about your business that you run in the online space, or maybe you are at that stage right now, and hopefully this will make sense to you. I just wanted to kind of update everybody on what OntarioAssistant.com is up to and how we're going about it. And as you know, I love learning about all kinds of things. So I am doing a mastermind right now, and I just wanted to share some of the things that I've been able to accomplish with the guidance of others. At one point, when I started this, I kept hearing this word of mastermind, or, coaches, and you're not really quite sure what to think yet because you haven't really dipped your feet in enough. But I'm here to tell you that you can make some really great decisions with the help of others, and don't discount that out of your entrepreneurial journey. And also, thanks for listening to all of our nominations. Isn't it amazing? We have so many wonderful shows on the network that are being nominated for the podcast awards. I'm super excited for everyone for that. One of my favorite is The Outer Realm. So please go make sure and go to podcastawards.com and vote. This basically gives us even more, visibility out there on the net. So if you want to see more of these shows happen, or more of this programming that's not controlled by a bigger agenda, please go ahead and vote. I think this space is amazing, and we're very lucky to be able to have it here. Okay, so first off, I wanted to tell you about this little project that we're working on, and it is, I'm just going to give everybody a little bit of a rundown. If you have never listened to our show, I should probably introduce myself again before I give you a rundown of the project. It would probably make sense, wouldn't it? This is what happens when I don't have a guest. Nobody's here to keep me on track. So, just in case you didn't know, my company is Ontario Assistant, and I'm an online business manager, and we cater to small businesses and entrepreneurs with a legal background and a focus on operational efficiency. As an online business manager myself with my team, we specialize in setting up new platforms, improving operation systems, project and staff management, developing marketing practices, updating online presence for business owners, and so much more. I'm also just to give you a little bit of my personal side, I'm a former high performance athlete and avid traveler. And I would say that I was an avid traveler before the pandemic, but after now it's a little bit harder. And also I have a very busy 3-year-old son, so that keeps me on my toes. I'm actually in Ontario, as in Ontario, Canada. I'm in Rockwood. It's about an hour away from Toronto, Canada. And I have so many online friends in the States, and I'm super grateful that we get to also broadcast live in New Orleans, and also on every single platform that you can think of on, where podcasts happen. So that's, I guess, the beauty about being able to work remotely. And that's kind of how my entire business goes anyway. Everything is online for the most part. I do show up to people's, places of work sometimes and do some work there. But so if you've never listened to us before, that is my company. But I love to bring on other businesses on here so that we can all learn together. And if you ever wanted to contact me or understand a little bit more about what I do here, you can go ahead and go on OntarioAssistant.com, and you can send me an inquiry through there, and I will answer you within 24 to 48 hours. You'll see here as well that I've posted on the screen of where to find me. So today I am pre-recording this shortly before 1 p.m. Eastern Standard on my time, because we're going camping tomorrow we'll be back on Wednesday. So I wanted to make sure that I had some time to pop in and say hi to everybody and this is what I call my housekeeping episode, because we want to we want to also show the world what we do around here and why. And there's a reason why we talk to the guests that we talk to. I like learning from other business owners, but also the business, that particular group of that audience that we interview are the people that I tend to work with. Not necessarily those people, but I mean small businesses in general, or sole practitioners, or businesses that have a couple of employees here and there. So it kind of all ties in together with what I do. So I kind of wanted to take you guys on a journey of what my life looks like right now. I don't know if I mentioned it on the previous episode or not, but I had a kind of a minor / major disaster happen where my website completely went kablooey. And I thought I was working off of a copy to try and get the next one off. And it turns out that the program never copied it over. So as soon as I changed the layout, my entire website was gone again. So the one that I was working on was gone, and then my current one was gone too. So fast forward to last week, I managed to put up, I would call it a good draft of a website in 3 days. And honestly, if it wasn't for the mastermind that I'm part of right now and the business owners in there, I don't think it would have ever happened. So I'm super grateful. But I wanted to take the time and acknowledge that I was working on that new website for almost 2 years. And it honestly, it took a disaster to happen for me to even put it up. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise. And I just want everybody to recognize that, sometimes things happen for a reason. And this was exactly it. I finally got my new website out, which was amazing. So before I show you that, because I don't have a page up for it yet, I wanted to mention what we're working on. So as you just heard, I'm in Ontario. I have a lot of business besties all over in Canada and Ontario, and I love networking. So with one of my business friends, Jen, she was here on our podcast earlier this year. We're putting together a retreat for business owners or entrepreneurs or anybody that's, high level in a business, not necessarily have their own business, but people who want to learn about, the operations of a business and how to position yourself in the current market and make a bunch of friends. This is for you. We are going to be running it at the end of September. It is 2 nights. And we're this close to having our page up so that we can advertise it to everybody. I can't wait. We're going to keep it to a small group because we want to have as much time as possible, to get to know everybody and to really focus on making connections for the first one. I want to take you through the lovely schedule that we have planned out. So just bear with me here. Because if this sounds like you, we definitely want to meet you. And if you're in Ontario or if you are traveling in Ontario, this is for you. Okay. So what would happen is on day 1, after we check in, there's some time to unwind and kind of, get everything sorted, say hi to everybody. Then at dinner, we would officially meet the whole group and just chat and get to know each other. Okay. And then we'd have a bonfire discussion on what it means to be an entrepreneur, kind of like, what does everybody do and how do you go about it? And just kind of, get those emotions going on what it means to balance your life with entrepreneurship, but by a bonfire. So who wouldn't like that, right? And on day 2, we'd start off strong with like a mini meditation, a breakfast, And just so that I'm clear, this retreat that we're pulling off, that we're planning, is all inclusive. So it would cover all of the classes, the food, the accommodation, the refreshments, which is awesome. We're also going to have a mini branding shoot. And we're going to have some workshops on operations, on, how to position yourself, pricing, and how to create a funnel for your business. And we're also going to be doing some networking on the second day. And on the third day, we're going to be in the beautiful outdoors again. We're going to go on a hike. We're going to have breakfast. And then we're going to have a session where we kind of reflect on what we have, what we need, and what our intentions are for the next little while. And the reason why we're doing all of that is because we want to be aware of how we spend our time. Is it constructive? Is it not? How do we spend our time as entrepreneurs where we feel fulfilled, but also balanced, and make sure that we still have time for our family, for our friends, etc. And I mean, it's just a wonderful way to kind of recharge, be around people who understand, kind of what's going on in your work life. And we're in a beautiful, beautiful resort in Ontario, where we have, heated pool, we have a gym, we have trails, we have all kinds of water activities that are still open in the fall. So we want to make sure that we take advantage of this whole idea of, reset, recharge, refocus, rest. So yeah, we hope that we're going to be able to put the page up soon, and we will post it on all of our platforms so you guys can take a look and see if this is for you, especially if you're in Ontario. Okay, just wanted to give you guys a little glimpse. This is super exciting. This is something that we plan on running multiple times a year, but for right now, we want to focus on the first one. And you'll get the details on, single occupancy, double occupancy kind of a situation with the sleeping arrangements and whatnot. But yeah, I really hope that you guys check it out when we post it. And if you can't make it, we're working on things such as workshops so we can attend virtually. So even if you have some sort of interest in kind of working with us or learning from some of the things that we've done in the past, we will make some things available virtually as well. Okay. Next, I wanted to take you guys through our website because it got a facelift. And I mean, if you want to leave some constructive criticism, by all means, we will listen. And we will try and do our best to listen to exactly what you would like to see. And here, let me put it up on the screen for you guys. Just bear with me. There we go. I'm just putting it up now. For those of you who are listening, I'm going to give you a brief description of what you're looking at. So, ta-da! This is the new website, ontarioassistant.com, and this is exactly what I've been kind of preaching. The headline here, it's Skip the Business Chaos with a dedicated online business manager, and that's us. Okay. We wanted to kind of describe what the overwhelm feels like. And if that's if that's you, then we want to talk to you and we want to make it better so that you can run your business even more efficiently. Okay. And you can see there's a little bit of, hey, this is about us. And this is kind of what I've said in previous episodes as well, into why you want to automate your business. and why you want to have dedicated processes in place because of this. Ready? I'm about to read it to you. So here's the big picture. You automate the back end and save 300 hours yearly. And these are just things that you kind of, it depends on how long things take you. And obviously this is an example that I took from my end, and I've calculated these things, right? And so here's the big picture, right? So automate the back end and save 300 hours yearly. Reallocate resources and save $500 a year in subscription fees. But reallocating resources could mean so much more, in terms of what your team does. It could definitely be more than $500 a month, but this is just in subscription fees. A lot of business owners tend to get lost in how many, platforms they pay for, and they don't even get to use them to the fullest. Okay. And reframe your workload and save 100 hours of training a year from turnover. And that's also $2,000 a year, because a lot of the times you have to pay for the people that are, training to work for you. So turnover is like the, it's like the elephant in the room, and no business that I've ever seen or worked at likes to talk about it, because they don't like to admit that things aren't perfect, and that's okay. Or whether it's their hiring process that's not perfect, whether it's the environment or the workload that hasn't been properly, structured. It's okay that you have turnover. What's not okay is seeing it over and over and not doing anything about it or not changing it. It just means that whoever is going to come in to do good work for you is not set up properly. So then they can't do good work for you. That's what that means, right? Create standard operating procedures and policies that make processes repeatable, and take that vacation and only use your phone for capturing memories. Just priceless. You don't want to be on vacation on your phone. Don't do what I did last time, right? That's part of the big picture. What about, come back fresh with new ideas in time to do the actual high level work and watch as you take off and scale, right? That's the dream. We all want to save money on that. We all want to save time. We all want to have a proper workload with the proper people in place to help us do the things that are necessary for a business. And then that will allow us to do the actual work that we're meant to do. That is what we strive for. I know that sometimes when I say that I'm an online business manager, people probably don't always know what that means, but this is it. We help business owners get to the point where they say, yes, this is why I chose to run a business. This is why I have a flexible schedule, because everything runs even without me there. Because remember, you want the machine to work for you, not the other way around. Okay. And we've kind of segmented the way that we would explain to people what kind of offers we have or services in two ways, right? So one is, do you need some clarity or roadmap? Are you at that point, right, where we need to do something fast to kind of advance? Do you want to make a plan or test the waters with some new tech? Right. So you're kind of in that beginning stage. So this is where you would do like a day reservation or a consult, right? Where you could either get an operations makeover within a day reservation, or, a clarity session. So a clarity session would be a consult with me where we get to identify what's the issue and how we can go about it. And then you can decide if you want to work further or if you want to do this, if you want to DIY it. And the third option there is have a presentation or have a webinar zone. A lot of the times when I work with bigger clients, they need to have their team on board. So we do kind of a presentation on what the plan is and what we're going to do about it. Okay. Just to get everybody on the same page. So that's why we offer that as well. The other stream of our services is, Are you growing? Does your team need some cohesiveness? Do you have processes but not enough time? You need to boost efficiency, or you have a team that needs to come together even when you're not around? This is the second route that you can take with our services. And what we recommend is the done for you projects and the retainers. So the retainers are the clients that we work with ongoing. And the done for you projects are things like, I want to implement, this tech, this software, this solution for me and my team. So we come in, we figure out what needs to be customized, we do it, and then we implement it with everybody. And we also give some learning resources on how to operate it. Okay. So those are kind of the two, like, are you at the beginning stage and you need a little bit of clarity, or are you kind of, moving forward with everything? Also, here's where we get to do a little shout out to the team. This is Taylor here on the left, and on the right is Jesse. We're missing Luke. He's looking for a headshot, so that's okay. Again, we're all still working on stuff. So these are some of the people that help me make everything happen. Everything from social media to research to, data entry and tech optimization and whatnot. These are the people that help me, and thank you to the team, because if it wasn't for the team, I wouldn't even be able to say I'm going camping for 2 days during the week. So thank you. And again, if you want to read more about what some of our clients say, we have a testimonial section here. And if you want to stay up to date with what's going on, you can join our mailing list. And whenever we do send some things, then you can be part of it. We're just continuing here with the tour of the new website. And please go check it out. It'll help us by maybe getting a few more eyes on what we've put out there. So if you have a second, go on OntarioAssistant.com and check out our website and leave us comments if you want, or say hi to us through the contact form. And also, I just wanted to remind everybody to like, follow, subscribe, share, and comment. This definitely gives us an idea of who's listening, who's watching, and thank you for the time that you're putting into us. We want to create content that people want to stick around for. Okay, so this is the page where it's about us, and probably my favorite thing here is this little GIF where you're on the beach, the water's hitting the shore, there's palm trees, there's a little bit of wind here, and it says, take that vacation and only use your phone for capturing memories. Not working. This is kind of the dream for every entrepreneur, and we want to make that happen for you. And here's our services page, which we've already gone through a little bit. I'm not going to take you in detail. If you are interested, this is where you can find everything, the 2 streams of services that we have. And I'm just scrolling through them here for you guys to see. It's funny, as I'm scrolling, I can already see things that I'd like to change. So funny enough. But I did want to show you the tech stack. So these are some of the softwares that I call it my tool belt, that we work with. There's a lot more, and as you can see, it's an overwhelming amount because we've done this quite a few times now, and are able to integrate a lot of these together and make it work for your business. So don't shy away from asking us if we can do something for you, or if you just need a consult, please feel free. We'll probably be very familiar. And if we're not familiar, we will get familiar on our own time to help you make this happen. Okay. And this is what we're working on too, is a podcast page for our radio show, which is something that we didn't have on the old website. So I'm super excited that we have it here. If you wanted to listen to replays and you don't get to my YouTube, go on OntarioAssistant.com/podcast. And this is the widget for SoundCloud. So you can actually just listen to it rather than watch it. This is my playlist, and I update all of our episodes on here. Okay, so you just have to click on it and you get all of them. See how you just have to scroll? Let's see. What do we have here? There we go. Yeah, so I think the last one was Helen. We'll be putting up Michael's as well from last week. And there is, oh, the one with Natalie. Look at that, guys. We're at almost 500,000 listens. Thank you so much for that. And look at that, 345,000 listens. The episode with Megan Reed on her book. By the way, guys, her book called Main Character Energy. Highly recommend. She is the confidence coach. And just stick with me here. Anybody, not just entrepreneurs, need to kind of read, what she's all about. This book is 99 cents for the Kindle version to pre-order right now. Highly recommend. It helps you apply those things in your day-to-day life as well, in order for you to make decisions that best serve you. And everybody needs that, not just entrepreneurs. So I'm so happy that she's doing that with the book. I think she's going to help a lot of people. And also, we're going to have her on later as well, closer to when she's launched her book, so she can talk to us about it again, because this is amazing. Maybe we'll get a sneak peek. Maybe she'll read some things, her favorite parts or whatnot. So yeah. And here's this is just the latest from the gram, but you guys can follow us, or if you want to send me a quick message, you'll find me on Instagram, and I'm just putting it at the bottom here. It is, apparently it doesn't want to cooperate. This is so funny. I'm clicking on our Instagram banner and it won't go. So here, let's try this one. Oh, I guess not. It's just not showing, guys. It might be actually when the recording's done, but it's just instagram.com/assistant.ontario. Feel free to DM me there. And also, if you want to hear when things are happening first, this is where to do it. Instagram and Facebook is where we update it the most. So instagram.com/assistant.ontario. Okay. And our contact page is here as well on our website. We're continuing going through the website here. So yeah, if you need to get in touch with me, or if you know somebody who could use our help, let me know and we will do that. I'm also super interested in knowing what kind of guests you guys want to see on the show. So feel free to, go on Instagram or Facebook and send me a message with that kind of information. And for anybody that's just tuning in now, you are listening to Negotiating Happiness on UPRN, and it is about halfway through our show, and we are live on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans, and we were going through some of the things that Ontario Assistant, which is our company, what we're up to, and some of the ways that you guys can get involved. I believe this week's show is going to be kind of like a housekeeping sort of episode. It's not going to be as long, but it is necessary. I want you guys to get to know me. I want your feedback. I want to hear about what kind of guests you want on the show. And I want you guys to see what exactly we are working on, so that you can, decide if you want to get involved or not. And also I want to talk about the mastermind that I'm in, to kind of go through the things that I was able to accomplish. And because it's crazy, my schedule is already so busy, but even with guidance from the right people, I was able to accomplish, like A through Z. So I want you guys to see that it is possible. You just have to know how to, kind of prioritize. It's all about prioritizing. And I know I hate when people say that too, but it is true. It is true. Okay. We talked about a retreat that we're doing for anybody in Ontario, Canada. We're doing the retreat at the end of September for 2 nights. I can't wait to meet all new biz besties, friends, business friends, entrepreneurs. And I'm running it with Jen Hutter from Honeyflow Coaching. She was on our show earlier this year. And I'm sure I'm going to bring her back to talk about it some more. And yeah, this is what we've been talking to so far. I think I need a coffee break here. I always think that I just talk too much, but I'm like, okay, but there's no guests, so of course I talk too much. Yeah, let me know what other guests you want to come on. We're kind of in the middle of sending out invites for a whole new round of guests. And I'm excited. I'm excited to bring some people back so that they could talk to us about their future projects. And I really hope that you guys are learning at the same rate that we are. I always say this, I'm not speaking from a place of expertise. I'm speaking from a place of current experience. I'm learning as well. And if you have some, wonderful feedback, then we would like to hear it in terms of, constructive feedback, not just wonderful, but constructive. Okay. So, I need to have my phone here to be able to talk about this mastermind because everything is neatly, tucked away in our Slack channel. I'm on this mastermind that I didn't think that I was ready for. So if it wasn't for, business friends to talk to me about it and to ask the right questions, I would have never thought that I would be ready for it. So, here I am. I'm already busy. I'm already struggling to keep up in some areas. But I think this is, the spot in my business where we either grow or we continue to plateau. I am looking to hire another VA in September, I believe. But until then, I want to get my stuff all ready and together. So the reason why I showed you my website earlier, my new website, not just because I want you guys to go on it, is because I mentioned before disaster struck, my website was gone. I was able to pull it together with new copy and have 2, 3, 4 different pairs of eyes look at the copy and at the offers. So in this mastermind, we're learning about, what are your actual offers? Don't overextend yourself. And I am like, this is so typically me. My first draft of my offers was like, 6 pages long of what looked like custom proposals instead of just the services that I'm offering. And when I created a map of them in Canva, they had like 6 different streams. While that might be okay for some businesses that are more set up for that, for me, it's not okay because I'm overextending myself. So first thing I learned was people want to see more cohesiveness in the services. And especially because now I'm running on a flat rate, model instead of an hourly model like I started. They want to be able to see, okay, but what am I getting without even, before they decide to even contact me. So this makes sense. It made it a lot cleaner for me to work on having the 2 streamlined, kind of sides of my services and only have like 4, 5 main services that I offer. That doesn't stop you from offering other kinds of services, but you don't need to plaster them all on your website because you have to focus on what is the best, what's the best service for your time, for the amount of effort that you're putting in and for your expertise, right? So I'm super thankful that, again, I had feedback from other business owners and what they would like to see. And for me, because I work with business owners, this was so valuable. So while I've seen so many masterminds out there and not knowing who these people are, I went with somebody that I trusted, that I had a previous relationship with, right? So don't get discouraged. It is an investment, but it's an investment that will start paying off right away if you put in the same amount of effort. So I redefined who I was, what my market was. Now I have clients that are, you know, I'm still kind of in the transition period, but my target market is clients that are a little bit more established, not just newer businesses, which will help me kind of grow and give my team work continuously where they can help me with the newer businesses. But I'm also like targeting, clients that are a little bit more established. So one, that's great shift because that's allowing me to start charging a flat fee, right? And two, um, it I got to have this feedback on, as a business owner, do you understand what I mean X, Y, and Z when I describe these services? And they're like, yes, no, I'd like to see more of this, less of this. So that was already super valuable. Okay. And then two, I had help with my website when I was in a pickle. I was in quite the pickle. And I know people were trying to visit my website and they saw it all broken and whatnot. And it happens. It's just a reminder that it happens. Did I want to cry? For a split second, yes. And then I just accepted it. And I was like, okay, I got to get to work. And I did it. And I got it done in like 3 days, which is amazing. Again, with the help from people from a mastermind. And we're learning about prioritizing and putting in boundaries. And that's not something that I think you ever stop learning about. You've heard me talk about boundaries before. And we need to create them and put them in place so that we can kind of achieve that dream that I just described on my website as well of, I can be away from the machine, the work, and it would still work without me. That's why you need boundaries, because you do need rest. You do need time to refocus and recharge so that you can come back and still be good at what you do and happy about it and ready to help other people, right? So I'm learning boundaries. I'm learning on what I want my team to look like in terms of workload. So a lot of the things that I end up recommending to other people, I'm getting to implement myself in ways that I haven't thought about before, not right. So while yes, I know that these things are super beneficial and I help other people do it, when it's your own business, it's a little bit harder because it's like you can't get out of your own head. You don't get to see the outside. You're not on the outside looking in, you're in looking in even deeper, right? So it's okay for you to be learning, but still doing your craft, your whatever it is that you do, right? Highly recommend investing in yourself that way. And it will pay off. I'm now getting clear on, where do I need to change my services? How can I change them? How can I present them to people? And what will that open doors for? And that would be more, it's not just about, it's not just about the money. That's why I talk a lot about boundaries, because the boundaries aren't about just the money. If it's scope creep, then yes. Scope creep is when, people keep asking you to do things that weren't in the proposal, weren't, part of it. This would be a separate kind of service, but you do it because you have the ongoing relationship. So yes, I guess that would be kind of about the money, but it's also about your time, right? And your word and what you've decided, collectively together, what you've decided that you are going to work on. So again, it's not just about the money. In scope creep, maybe it is, but the other issues are about, it's about, that's why I preach about boundaries. It's boundaries with yourself, in order to make room for your family, your friends, your mental health, your, time to rest and whatnot. So it is just about making sure that you have a structure in place. And I know that some people don't like running structures in their businesses because it doesn't give them the flexibility, but that is false. Once you have structure, you have the flexibility with the data. So it actually allows you to make better decisions as to, is it really worth it when you're looking to do something outside of the norm? Is it worth it? What do we get out of it? How does my team feel about it? Since yes, it's included. No, it's not included. It just allows you to make better decisions for your business in general. It doesn't take away the flexibility. It really doesn't. It just frames it in a different way where you might say no. to being flexible. And that might be for good reason. That could be for the interest of the client as well. Maybe they don't get the best of you when you're overextending yourself and being flexible with everybody. And I can attest to that. So it's definitely been so helpful to be in this learning process of here's what other people are doing as well. I don't know, information is just so valuable. And if you're not in the space of information, you might not think it is. A lot of people like tangible things when they pay for things, right? To be like, this is what I'm walking away with. But I can tell you from, this experience, well, this mastermind is going to be 9 months long. And by then I envision myself as completely have transformed everything. And I am like a better person to work with the types of clients that I have targeted, because I would be at a different level understanding for them. So it's not only beneficial for my own business development, but for professional development in general, right? So while my operations are getting a makeover, my services are as well, and what I'm putting out into the world. So I'm super excited. We talk a lot about, what's bothering you today? What are you having issues with? And in this community, and this mastermind is coming together and helping you fix things or giving you different perspectives. And I've heard it multiple times in our group on Slack about, wow, I've never thought about it that way. Right, because you're only one person. It's so beneficial to have all these different minds together. And some of them are in different countries or in, different continents. And it's really helpful because we all operate in the digital space. So it is important to pick a mastermind that fits in with whatever your industry is, but it doesn't have to. We don't all have the same business. We have different businesses, but they are service-based. So that's super helpful to us. But yeah, so if you're looking to get in contact with us, if you're looking to find out more about the kinds of masterminds or the kinds of courses that I've taken along the way that you might want to take, I'm happy to send me a DM on Instagram. So it's instagram.com/assistant.ontario. And I will answer. I will make this very general statement. If you're asking me on what you need to do to start your business, like in general, like a general question like that, I genuinely just don't have the time to sit there and explain the play-by-play. And I don't want to give you a half-cooked answer. So in that case, a lot of professionals will tell you either go on my website and find out, or get a consult. We can set up a consult and you can pay for the time that it's going to take for me to explain everything to you in detail so that you can do a great job, or that you are set up properly and you have a roadmap. That is a clarity session, or that is something that we can work on. If you want to just know some of the courses, I will point you to my Instagram on specific posts where I talk about them. No problem. Or in Mastermind or whatever it is, I will give you the links. No problem. It takes 3 seconds. But anything else, if you have a general conversation, you want to pick my brain, I'm telling you, I'm not going to be able to do that. It's not, and I've heard so many professionals struggle with this. It's not just me. It's everybody that's busy and just honestly sells their time. When somebody sells their time, you can't expect to get it for free either, because that is literally what they're doing, is selling their time and expertise, right? But please send me a DM if you have some constructive criticism, or if you want to know the resources that I use for my own business. And if you want to see kind of the 2 streams that we've set up for our services, you can go to ontarioassistant.com and check them out. I will check in with the comments as well when we're live. If you have any questions, I will answer them in the comments. But thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be listening to a few more of our podcast awards colleagues that are nominated, because I want you guys to go ahead and vote for us if you like us, and have a chance of checking out some of our other shows that maybe you haven't checked out. So again, thank you all for tuning into the show. Thank you for everyone that is going to be in the chat room, and anybody that's listening to the replay, thank you as well. And a big thank you to the United Public Radio Network and then UFO Paranormal Radio Network. We will catch you next week. And I will put out some information on who our upcoming guests are for sure. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcast. Yes, it is that time of year again. There's a show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, UFO Undercover, in the category of entertainment. UFO Undercover brings you some of the most revealing and current research that is being done with respect to alien abductions and contact. Host Joe Montaldo has been an abduction researcher for over 35 years and is uniquely qualified to bring you live interviews with some of the most well-known researchers in ufology. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate UFO Undercover in the category of entertainment. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and get out and vote now.
Looking for something new in sci-fi or fantasy? Check out what Brandon Sanderson, Orson Scott Card, Nnedi Okorafor, and others chose as the best news stories of the year in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
All right, everybody. It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. The Outer Realm in the category of Best Female Hosted Podcast. The Outer Realm is a very popular show hosted by Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano, which boasts millions of listeners each week who are well known for and have been complimented on their very laid-back, roundtable style of interviewing. Together, this dynamic duo brings you the best of the best with guests from around the world who are well versed within their respective fields of ufology, paranormal, esoteric, and other areas of high strangeness and more. So go to podcastawards.com to nominate The Outer Realm in the category Best Female Hosted Podcast. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and do it now.
It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast, in 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. For 4 years, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast has provided advice and tips from international best-selling authors, world-class artists, contest judges and winners, and industry professionals based on the world-famous Writers of the Future contest created in 1983 by L. Ron Hubbard to help the aspiring writer and artist no matter their age. It is dedicated to the future of storytelling and art by showing that it is never too late to start, and those who make it are those who never give up. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in any or all of the 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and go out and vote now.
Hey there. Hey there. It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. The News on the Flip Side, in the category of politics and news. News on the Flip Side is a much different news and political program which is not deemed as opinion news. Listen as Joe Montaldo brings to you just the facts from trusted sources which will allow you, the people, to make up your own minds on the various stories being reported on. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate News on the Flip Side in the category of politics and news. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and do it now.